This podcast may contain paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss the nuts and bolts of business and leadership, with a focus on bootstrapping a business from the ground up. This podcast is for all entrepreneurs, bootstrappers, and leaders in all walks of life. My goal is to help you grow both personally and professionally. I am your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Audible.com has the world's largest collection of audiobooks. They don't have just audiobooks, they also have podcasts, Audible originals, college lectures, and other spoken word content. The book I'm recommending today is the book 48 Days to the Work You Love. It's an amazing book. It's a great book to get you started, to help you figure out what you really love, what you're passionate about. If you want to start a business, if you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur, it can help you guide you along those lines. But if you're also just looking for a job and looking for a way to find a better job or do a career change, also a great book for that. And again, that's the book 48 Days to the Work You Love by Dan Miller. It's an amazing book. Go check it out. And of course, you can get it for free when you get your free trial over at audible.com/bootstrap with a capital B. You can go there. You get one free audiobook, 2 free Audible originals, and access to their entire streaming library for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, the price is only $14.95. It's well worth the cost. I have well over 100 books. It's amazing. You can go again. That's audible.com/bootstrap with a capital B. It's amazing, guys. Go check it out. Now, the reason I brought up the book 48 Days to the Work You Love is because it's very important to be able to find out what you're passionate about, of course. But also, there are times where you might find yourself needing to go get another job. For example, say you started your business and COVID hit and killed off your business. That's a good reason to find another job. Or your business is going okay, but you're still not bringing in a full-time income, so therefore you go ahead and go get another job, but at least a part-time job, to supplement the money so you can feed your family. Or you just decide that you want a career change. You're tired of being a bootstrapper, you want to go find a job and not have to deal with the stress. That, again, is okay. So you need to go find another job. So there's multiple reasons you might need to go out and get another job to get your income up so you can help take care of your family, take care of yourself. And that's important as well. There's no shame in that. It's always good to be working hard and hustling. So, how do you find another job? I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story. And again, I can't recommend enough that book, 48 Days to the Work You Love. Without that book, there would be no this podcast. That's the book that got me inspired to start my own business in the first place, thus starting the podcast as well. So if you want a really detailed information on how to find a job about your career and stuff, go check out that book. Anyway, so there's the normal ways you would go find a job. Back in the day, you used to go look in the newspaper or look around for a store that had a help wanted sign. Whereas that may still occur. I can't remember the last time I heard of anyone finding a job in a newspaper or through a help wanted sign. It's very rare. Nowadays, most jobs are online, most job application processes are online, and most job listings are online in some way, shape, or form. ZipRecruiter, Monster, etc. There are lots of different places online to look for jobs. Now, these are not a bad place to go. You can find some things. I've recruited online. I've gotten an employee by recruiting online, so it's not a horrible place to get a job. The problem is, whenever you're competing for a job you find online, you're competing with lots and lots and lots of people. I currently live in Norway, and there's been multiple times where I saw a job posted, and I would call about the job, less than 48 hours after the job was posted. One time I saw a job posted, it was the very next day I called and I said, oh yeah, the job's already filled. It happens super quickly. And when it's posted online, you're probably competing against tens, hundreds, or even thousands of applicants for that position. So yeah, you might get a position, you might be able to find a position that's really hard to find normally, and you might get lucky, but it's kind of like playing the lottery when you're looking for jobs online. There's a lot of luck involved. You don't have a very good chance of actually getting a job. And I know I've been doing that for years and haven't gotten a job from looking online. Matter of fact, I can't remember the last job I got just from looking online and applying online. The last few jobs I have not. Matter of fact, in Norway, I've had four jobs, and not a single one of these jobs I found on an online posting. So, finding a job online is not a great way to go. What's a better plan of attack? The better plan of attack is targeting the type of job you want and going after it. The other way to do it is be looking with friends and family, talking to friends, talking to your network. So let's go into the two different ones. Talking to your friends, talking to your network, that's a great way to get a job. One time I needed a job, I talked to the guys in my men's Bible study group, and one of the guys said, hey, I'm hiring, need a job? I said, yeah, and I got a job with the guy. So there you go. Your network sometimes will have people that need employees that know you already, and because they know you already, they trust you, they like you, and they're probably going to hire you pretty quickly if you fit with them. So that's a good thing. So that's a great way to find a job. Another way to find a job is find a place that you would want to work for and target them. Give them a call, send them a cover letter. Start the process by going after a person who you want to work for. You start with a cover letter, usually. You say, hey, I'm interested in working for you. I might be applying here soon. A little bit later, okay, I'm sending you my resume. A little bit later, you apply. Now, that's sort of the process which I got to my latest job, which I've gotten because, well, COVID has killed my business. I have not had a customer since, December, and today it's April. So 3 straight months of not a single customer. I need to get an income in. So I had to go and look for a place to go. And I'll come right back to that. The other way to go is showing up in person at multiple places and dropping off a resume, dropping off cover letters at multiple places that you would like to work at. And that's somewhere in between. That's not the best way to do it, but that's a good way to do it. I've gotten 2 jobs in Norway that way. Walked in, dropped off my resume, said, hey, I'm looking for a job. Talk to the manager, talk to him in person, drop off the resume. Now, of course, speaking to people in person right now is more difficult because of COVID. People don't want you to show up in person. And if you want to work for a larger corporation, odds are they'll just tell you to go to their online portal to apply there. It's kind of a little bit of a wasted effort. Now, the way I found my current job is I grew up working in an arcade. I've spent several years working in an arcade. Matter of fact, Jason St. Clair, the founder of Atheoz, and my business partner, that's where we met. That's where we got to know each other working in the arcade. We were arcade shift leaders, crew leaders. We were working together for a long time. And so I started thinking, you know what? I have some skills in the arcade. There's not much going on. Maybe I can find a job just fixing machines, repairing machines, even if it's just drawing around and fixing vending machines. Maybe that's a shot. Because I've been struggling in Norway with my language skills. I have pretty decent language skills. I can do most jobs, including sales and management and all these other jobs that require a high level of language competency. Problem is, people that are also applying for these jobs have a much higher language competency. Not just an ability to do it, but highly competent to do it, and therefore I can't compete. It's been a pain in the butt. So I figured maybe I can find a job where I have a skill set where language is not an issue. So I started looking around and I noticed there was a new company on Facebook called Translated, the Arcade King, Arcade Kongan, online on Facebook. Go, oh, cool, arcade machines. That's really cool. And I started following him and watching him. And after being kind of a fan of his page for a while and liking his work, I reached out to him and said, hey, I've got a background in working on arcade machines. Do you need anybody to help out? He said, no, not at the moment, but I'll keep you in mind. Well, about 2 or 3 weeks later, I sent him just a little message, just a little, actually an arcade machine meme, sent it to him, and he came back and said, hey, by the way, are you still looking for a job? Can you do vinyl? Can you hang vinyl on decals? And I said, well, I've never done decals like that, but I've done vinyl on balloons, so sure, I can give it a shot. And so I went out there, we talked, and I got hired. I got the job. I am now working on building arcade cabinets, which is really fun. And my skills from the balloon world have helped. My skills I've learned throughout the years have helped, and it's working out pretty good. And that just came from me liking a place, liking a page, and eventually thinking, I would like to work there. And it was a few weeks that I was following this page and their work without even thinking about asking for a job. But I liked his work. I liked what he was doing. It's something I have a passion for. I like arcade machines. I like arcades, old school, and it's really worked out well. And I think it also helped because when I contacted him, he could tell that I have a passion for these things. I like them. They're fun. I worked with them. They're fun to work with. And he likes the fact that he seems to like the fact that I also like the machines. And it's not just building them to make money, it's building them because I enjoy the work. I like the work. And that connection helped me land the job. So there you go. That's just a little personal story on how I found a job building arcade machines. That is actually a pretty cool game. Good game, job, going out and building, using my creative skills, my talents to build something cool. That's really fun. My boss is cool. It's working out good. And I'm going to be able to make decent money during the pandemic. And my business is still open for business. Not that I have any customers, but the job is part-time, full-time, depending on how much I want to work. It's very flexible hours, and I can now do my balloon business and still have a job to fall back on. So it's really cool. And that's one more thing. If you're working your business and you just need some extra income to give you a boost for a while, another good reason to go get a job. Anyway, if you want more information on the best processes to find a job, there's a lot more details in there that I just kind of skimmed over. This is how I've personally found a job. And there's lots of other steps you can take, things you can do, ways you can go find a job, and you work really, really hard to get a job. It's a great way to get a job. It's very important to not go after jobs with thousands and thousands of people applying, but find a job that you want to work at that fits. And that's the other thing. If you find a place you want to work at, you might even be able to find a place that you want to work at that you can work around your business easily. So it's a lot easier if you can identify a place you want to work that will allow you to keep your business. That's also a great thing. Anyway, you guys have a happy Easter. I will be back on Tuesday, and I'll have a normal podcast on Tuesday and on Thursday, and then on Friday, I will be having a special guest interview that I'm doing that will pop up the next Tuesday after that. I'm very excited about. If you want hints to who this guest is, I will give you this much. It's an author of a book that I have mentioned within the last month or so. You can go check it out on my O'Connor Bootstrap book club and the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast groups on Facebook. Go check us out. Join us there. I will be dropping hints as we get closer as who this is, and I'm very excited. I'm hoping to start getting more and more guests on the podcast that are really bigger in business and working on things. It's great. I'm excited. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. If you found value in this content, please leave a comment and give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms. If you would like to support us, you can check out our sponsor links, or if you would like to directly support the show, you can donate or join our membership program at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap. Of course, it really helps when you share these podcasts as well. If you would like to interact with me and other bootstrappers and leaders, you can join our O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast and Atheoz Business Solutions Podcast. For our companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, hosted by Jason St. Clair, past episodes, and related blogs, check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is www.atheoz.com, or theoz.com. Until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor.